So, I just got done watching Thunderbolts, asterisk symbol, title still pending, and I gotta say, it wasn't bad. Now, I'll start with the non-spoiler section of this review first, because we'll get to the spoiler section soon enough, and I've got a lot to say about the actual topic of spoilers in particular and how Marvel's handling it. But first, I want to say that I actually like this movie, which is honestly a little surprising because I remember seeing the lineup of MCU movies to come out in phase 5, 6, what phase are we on right now? This current phase, and I remember thinking, like, okay, so they got another Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Oh hey, Deadpool and Wolverine is in there too. That'll print money for them. And what's this? Thunderbolts? Okay, whatever the fuck that is. And I feel like that was probably a lot of people's reaction to hearing about the movie for the first time, was that it was just going to be a filler Marvel movie. Nothing special, just a bunch of B, C-tier MCU characters that go on an adventure together, crack some jokes, beat a bad guy, and they'll probably throw in something that ties it into the multiverse at the end and sets up some grander plan. But as it turns out, this movie actually kind of matters in the grand scheme of things and is actually kind of important. But not only that, this movie actually surprised me because I found myself enjoying it. Now, it wasn't incredible. I mean, I wasn't watching it thinking, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in the MCU. But I was enjoying it, and I think I realized why only after I saw the movie. I think the MCU works best when the movies feature a group of people instead of just focusing on one singular superhero. I think the quippy MCU dialogue, writing, and dynamic works best when you have a cast of heroes that can all bounce off of one another, instead of just having one person who has to carry a movie on his own. I mean, that's half the reason why the Avengers movies work so well. That and movies like The Guardians, and even just recently we had Deadpool and Wolverine in a movie together, and they were able to just riff off of one another. And that's what kind of makes Thunderbolts work. The fact that we have all these characters, and they're just cracking jokes at each other while relating and bonding with each other through their mutual flaws and experiences, it's very Suicide Squad-esque, and I think it's pretty clear that's what this movie was sort of meant to be. The Suicide Squad of the Marvel Universe. You know, this group of ragtag, reject anti-heroes working together to actually be heroes in the face of a greater evil. And when that's done right, it can actually make for a great movie. I mean, for God's sake, if you've seen the beginning of this movie, you should know why I think it's essentially Marvel's Suicide Squad. But yes, both Suicide Squad, no, not that one. Both the Squad and the Thunderbolts work well because of the characters involved. And sure, maybe in this movie a character or two could be developed a little better, but the great thing about Suicide Squad type movies is that not all the characters have to be likable. Peacemaker was described by John Cena as a douchey Captain America, and we all know what character from the Thunderbolts falls into that category. If anything, these characters' douchiness almost adds to their charm. But overall, this movie doesn't have any worse writing that you would typically see in Marvel movies. There are some bad jokes sprinkled in here and there, but that's nothing new for Marvel, and I almost come to find it charming at this point. The pacing is helped by this movie actually being pretty contained. Like, the time and place that this movie takes place is actually pretty limited, and I think that actually helps in making this movie not feel too long, which is a good thing. It's acted well enough. I mean, when you see that star-studded cast, you can almost sort of expect that. You got Florence Pugh leading this project, Lewis Pullman from Top Gun Maverick in this, David Harbour is in this, and fucking Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in this. The story structure also diverts from what is usually the formula in these Marvel movies, but in order to talk about that, we have to start diving into spoiler territory. So the rest of this review will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, click off now. Okay, here we go. So, first things first, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to this movie, Thunderbolts, asterisk sign. And the reason why I keep bringing up the asterisk sign is because, as it turns out, that is only the working title of this movie. Now, I need to tell you guys a quick story, because when I went to go see this movie, I pulled my phone out at the end, contemplating posting a photo of the title card that comes up during the end credits so that I could let my community know about what movie I had just seen and what video was coming. But then the fucking iPhone did that thing where that one timer setting is automatically turned on, and it made it so that there was this 3-second delay before the picture was taken. This is a true story, by the way, and if anybody knows how to get that setting turned off for good, please let me know. Asking for a friend here. And by that point, the title card of the Thunderbolts had changed and was replaced with The New Avengers. And once I saw that, I figured the picture was now pretty much unusable because I couldn't post what this whole movie was setting up when most people probably hadn't seen it yet. But as it turns out, yeah, I woke up the next morning, checked social media, and found this spoiler just all over the timeline. And that was really shocking to me. I don't know why Marvel is doing this thing now. Maybe they really just don't care anymore. Maybe they really did just stop trying after Endgame like everybody said they did. But they're doing this thing now where they'll just spoil stuff in the trailers and on the posters. They just don't care anymore. They'll just tell everybody, hey, look guys, Thunderbolt Ross turns into the Red Hulk in this movie. And they'll just spend the whole movie building up to something that they already told us in the marketing campaign. And it's kind of the same thing again with this movie, because they'll just tell us, hey guys, by the way, this movie's got the new Avengers team in it. It's actually not a team called the Thunderbolts. Make sure you go watch it. Like, that's the whole point of the movie, and watching it is that we find out they're the new Avengers. Why would you spoil something like that? Is the box office really that bad? Are you really that desperate to get people to go to the theater that you'll just market this as the new Avengers film? It's not the same thing as the new Captain America movie where you spoil just one aspect of the movie. Like, yeah, it's one of the bigger plot points of the movie was Red Hulk, and you spoiled that, but it's not like the whole point of the movie. Captain America 4 didn't exist for the objective of establishing Red Hulk. It was more just so they could have a random third act CGI monster villain that they could throw in at the end. But this movie, the whole point of it is the establishment of this new team of anti-heroes and what they'll be doing going forward. And you basically spoiled what this new team is and what they're going to be doing going forward. I just don't get it. It's such a weird marketing strategy they're doing now where they'll just tell everyone what the ending of the movie is. I'm honestly kind of glad I saw this opening weekend because when those tweets from Marvel started coming out on Monday, I thought to myself, man, if I had decided to go see this movie just a few days later, I would have been spoiled. And I honestly don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. I don't know if I would have even wanted to go at that point once I saw why this movie exists. I don't know. Either way, that major spoiler aside, I think Marvel actually did a pretty good job with this movie. And that might be because of what I mentioned earlier with the whole group dynamic thing working well in the MCU, but even that doesn't mean the characters couldn't be a little better. Particularly Ghost and Taskmaster. The fact that they even have Taskmaster as part of the team on the poster is hilarious, considering she was just capped in the first 5 minutes. Honestly, before she showed up, I forgot she was still alive. I didn't even know Ghost was alive either. Maybe it's because of the movies that they were in. I probably just repressed any memories I had of those awful movies, but you could tell who really carried the character work in this movie, and it's Yelena and Bob. And their character work mainly stems from the idea of their shared trauma. They're the only people in each other's lives who can understand each other, and that culminates in the end when Yelena and the rest of the Thunderbolts comes to Bob's aid and tell him that he'll never be alone, and they overcome Bob's biggest demon and save the city. And maybe it's the anti-social person in me coming out, but I really like that moment. I also liked how, as I mentioned before, that also kind of forgoes the typical MCU movie plot structure. In the end, there wasn't a big CGI monster battle, at least not really. It was essentially just a manifestation of Bob's worst memories and darkest aspects that needed to be conquered, and they didn't beat it by just punching it. They all actually came together to overcome it, and I really liked that. You don't really see a lot of Marvel projects where the characters have to be faced with their traumas and they have to work to overcome them. And that type of serious topic and the way they approach it in the emotional way that they do surprisingly doesn't feel too tonally dissonant from the rest of the story, where you get the same characters cracking jokes. Again, it feels similar to other team-up movies the MCU has done before, where they balance the emotional with the humorous. But yeah, in this, Yelena and Bob were definitely the two standouts of the movie. Yelena's dad, the Red Guardian, acts as the comic relief of this movie by acting sort of as the embarrassing dad character, while also carrying a sort of childlike excitement at reliving the glory days of being a superhero. John Walker also adds a bit of charm with his trademark douchey all-American quarterback star persona. And altogether with that blend of characters and traits and Ghost at their side, it makes for a fun team-up movie. Like I said, a lot of the writing and the jokes are pretty hit or miss. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the previews that played before the movie got a bigger laugh from the audience than any of the jokes in Thunderbolts. It was this joke right here. This was the one that got everyone.
Love you. Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
But yeah, like I said before, the pacing wasn't bad, and that was mainly because this movie takes place over the course of like 1 or 2 days, and the biggest things happen in only like 2 places, the research site and the general vicinity of Avengers Tower, and that sort of contained storytelling helps this movie feel shorter and makes this movie feel like it's going by faster, which, as I said before, is a good thing. I do wish that there were a few more action sequences, or at least a few more good ones. Like, I know what I said before about my appreciating the fact that there was no big final battle at the end, but the action scenes that we do get in this movie aren't very cool or memorable. But yeah, this is just a fun team-up movie. Got some good characters, some need work. Pacing's good, writing is so-so. I like the emotional moments in this. Don't like the spoilers Marvel put out. Story structure diverts from the norm. Tonally pretty balanced and consistent, and they are really hyping up the new Fantastic Four movie now, which better be good if RDJ's Doctor Doom and the new Avengers movie are gonna have a chance. But for now, I'm gonna give the new Avengers, a 7.5 out of 10.